Yo, what's up, everyone? It's your boys, Jimmy, Daz, and Def R. Right, lads.
All right, mate. G'day,
Hi.
mate.
Oh, we've all got our court cats on because today we're stoked to be joined by Riff Machine, Mr. Dave Stepanavicius from
There you
Atræ
go.
Bilis.
Now,
Well done,
Hey.
mate. Well
Nice.
done, mate.
you know, you nailed it. Thanks, guys. It's great to be here and have a chinwag with you all. I've been listening to the pod. It makes me laugh. So yeah, happy to share one with you all.
Oh, thanks, bro. No, it's been obviously a little bit of a long time coming. This, like, we've been talking about doing it since Apex Aping came out. So, like, it's
Yeah.
great to finally have you here, man. Should we jump in there, man? Like, so Aumicide's been out for just over a month now. How the time flies. How's the reception been from your side?
Seems to be okay. I mean, it's a little hard for us to really know. We're kind of like in our own bubble doing this thing. So without people really reaching out and wanting to chat about it or dropping in the DMs or reading the review stuff, it's just kind of out there and for people to enjoy on their own. I will say that this is being the first release outside of COVID. I hate bringing that up, like we're so all over it, but
Yeah.
because this is the first release we've released outside of COVID, and we've actually been able to tour it. It feels like there's been much more of a connection with people and being able to like actually meet people that listen to it and hang out
Yeah.
at shows and all that stuff, which has been really special. So in that sense, it's definitely been it's felt more real. I guess the other albums or the other album and the EP, they seem they found their audience, but I guess it was all online. It was all digital, and I don't like spending too much of my time digitally. So
Yeah.
but it seems to be pretty good from what I understand. People are actually really understanding the vibe of the band a lot more. Maybe that's got to do with some of the visual things that we did with videos as well. But I think it just it seems to be landing more than the other material had, I think.
Yeah, that's good, man. Because like before, obviously we spoke about it when we did our best of the month show last month. And so when I'm like doing my notes for albums and that, I like to cross-reference with reviews online and things like that, just so I'll be like, is anyone else picking up this that I'm hearing, or am I hearing things wrong or different to other people? And every review that I read was like, absolutely, this band have taken their sound, they've progressed it, they've pushed it to the next level. This is a big step up. So everything that I read and the reaction that I've seen like online on Twitter and stuff through other fans has just been like overwhelmingly positive towards it. So that's from where we're sitting, it's landed really well.
Yeah, thanks for that. I think that's the general consensus too. And there's it's it's cool too, because we don't want to be liked by everybody, but it's funny how much the guitar effects are really kind of pointing out to us how many people aren't willing to open their mind to new soundscapes in death metal. Like we use the tremolo effect a lot, and the reason we did that is to evoke a certain feeling, but for people to say that it annoys them and things, it's like I don't know, it's actually kind of nice, because like if you're closed off, like this whole album is just it's not for you, right? I definitely think this album involves more attention to really understand. It's definitely not something that you can just passively listen to, I guess, all the time. I mean, if you've listened to the record, it inside out, you can probably jam it in the car and stuff to really get things out of it that that are there for our listeners to discover. It does involve a little bit of energy. So yeah, to all those that have done that, we appreciate it. You know, we definitely appreciate you guys. And we were listening to your roundup while we're on tour, actually.
Oh,
And
sick.
yeah, it was a really nice morale booster. We had a long drive, and yeah, we're all pretty tired and stuff. And yeah, it just definitely felt like a second wind in our sail that day.
Yes,
so,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's nice, man. And for the people who like thought, you know, those say Morbid Angel albums are always going to be there, you can go and listen to them if you're not, if you know, if you're not open your mind to new sounds and new ideas and stuff. And so how does I wanted to get into like the songwriting process within the band, dude. How do you all write? Are you all chipping in riffs and ideas, and is it a sort of a collaborative effort between you all?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the bones of it, the riffs and the song structures themselves, like the arrangements, is usually where we start. So they're the primary building blocks for everything else, and that's usually just that just flows out of Luca, the drummer, and myself, just being in a room together. We genuinely don't have any pre-written ideas about anything. Everything that comes out of us just happens in our rehearsal space.
Oh, sick.
So that's how we write. It's very, dare I say it, old school in that sense. But yeah, we certainly have a chemistry, and I think that's the most exciting part of this band for us is actually just being in that. Yeah, just that cycle of writing and just getting excited about how songs are shaping out. It definitely feels like we tap into an energy, though. It feels like there's like this strange kind of like cloud in the room that is unseen but just kind of has this grip on us, which is kind of eerie and kind of cool. But we've been in the same rehearsal space ever since we ever first started jamming together, so that's how the sounds and the structures and stuff are kind of put together, is primarily the drums and guitars. And then we've found most efficient and most effective to then take I guess those sketches. We'll go into the studio and we will record drums, and then once the drums for those songs are done, drums back home, and then I will just it's not for anybody outside of the band to hear, but just very, very messy kind of guitar demos with guitar tracks either side, so that I can kind of play around with how I want the melodies to play with each other, and a lot of the left right pan that you'll hear and things. And then after that, then Miles, our bass player, will come over and we'll sit on the couch and we'll just kind of figure out, he'll be in the room playing everything, as Luca and I are jamming out the songs, but we really get into the details of, note selections for certain details and things on the couch. We'll demo those. And then from those demos, that's usually when I'll go into my reading space and I'll get some lyrics put together, and then Jordan and the rest of the band will all go down to our rehearsal space and we'll take the other demos that we've done and we'll just figure out vocal patterns for the lyrics. Usually by that time, we've got a loose idea of the song sequence for the albums, because everything we release is conceptual. So it takes a little bit of forethought to really consider the flow, which song's going to be first, which song's going to be second, is there going to be interlude, so that when we line up the lyrics for those songs, we can kind of play around with them. And that process usually that's usually the quickest. That usually probably takes next to bass is probably quickest, but vocals probably takes a couple of months. And then once we have all that, we've effectively got the scratch guitar demos and all the click tracks for like our tempos and stuff ready. And then it's just a matter of just going to the studio and then just doing it properly. So it's a bit of a process, but we've found that works best for our style of just really being able to hone in on, you know, every little detail, like every single note is, yes, that's the best note for this part. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite cool that you, for such a, you know, it's quite a forward thinking sound. You've got quite a, not futuristic isn't the word, but it's very like pushing the envelope. It's really cool that you create those songs old school in a guitar and drums in a jam space. I think that's really, it's like a yin and yang. Do you know what I mean? Of the old way of doing it, but your sound is very pushing the envelope of extreme music.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, I don't think it would be as fun for us to write albums if it was, you know, I think it's pretty normal at this point. Like a lot of guitar players use a program called Guitar Pro, and they will basically just like have songs out. They'll program their guitar parts and then learn them. And I mean, we write so many songs. We're usually in a creative flow state, so it's just things are just flowing, and then it's just a matter of, oh, this is an earworm in my head, and I can't stop thinking about, okay, well, this has to stay. Or it can even be, this song is great. It's just a soup of riffs. It's just getting too tech. There's no song substance there. As fun as, and we try and find that line. That balance of, it's going to be fun to play every single night if we're on tour. We're not going to get sick of the same songs, but it has to evoke a feeling, but it has to tell a story. So it's an interesting one. I think the longer we play together, the better we get at that, I hope. But then on the same token, we also want to play music that we want to hear that hasn't been produced before. And I think possibly a lot of that, you know, future just come from an amalgamation of just peripheral styles of music that we really like, that we just like to hear more in, you know, extreme death metal, possibly. We're not trying to do something that's ahead of the curve. We're just trying to appease our own tastes and interests more than anything else. But,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Which I think you might be a mind reader, dude, because my next question is, do you all have different musical influences that you bring into the band?
Yeah, we do. And we're all at different kind of periods and phases of our lives as well, which I think is like a big thing. With bands, because, you know, as you know, sometimes, you know, you'll go through like a doom phase, and then times, you know, you'll go through the seasonal black metal phase, all that kind of stuff. It's forever changing. The core, you know, we all love, you know, extreme death metal, and then we all have, you know, the stuff that we listen to outside of that, and that's all different. So, you know, I mean, Luca and I share a lot of similar music tastes outside of death metal. He's like, I guess he's much more musical than I am, in the sense that he really likes like a lot of prog rock and space rock and, you know, solo centric, or not solo centric, but, you know, soloist kind of stuff. A lot of really old stuff, dad rock. He is a dad as well, so that checked out. Miles listens to a lot. He's, you know, he's got a formal education in music, so
cool.
You know, he's kind of like the, you know, dare I say it, like the mathematician of music, and a lot of like, you know, especially with the dissonant side of things, like he really latches on to bands like Imperial Triumphant and things, which to me is just like an anxiety attack, you know, and then, you know, Jordan's also a big game so he loves to listen to like a lot of electronic music and stuff. I don't know if a lot of that kind of comes in, but you know, it's definitely a headspace that we all like to be in when we listen to it together and stuff, which I guess, you know, kind of equalizes some type of vibe. So yeah, we all do. But yes, thankfully nobody in the band listens to any country.
Yeah, I can't see that worming its way into album.
I demand album 3 to have a twang of a banjo in it. That's fine.
It's interesting you said about the bass playing, because it's you can hear that when you said that you know the bass, you like to sit down on the couch and work out the bass parts. You can almost imagine him sort of sitting there and like you said, he comes from he's got a musical education. Hearing, I guess it's hearing that music, you've got a skeleton of it there, and then being able to plug into that rather than just jamming along it's a different mindset, isn't it? I guess when you're formally educated in that way.
Oh, definitely. And like he's just technically, Miles is like his ability is fantastic. He's also a guitar player. So when we're talking about music, you know, and certain riffs and things, I mean, even transposing the same series of notes to another section of the fretboard so that it's got a different voicing are all things that he will figure out, you know, the shape of the run, just to kind of glide around the fretboard a little more and make it more economical for him. It just really opens up a lot of opportunities for that. So it's strange. It's kind of like watching Guitar Pro, like visually and stuff, like the front window seat to Miles's brain. When we're doing all that stuff, which is really neat. But then again too, you know, we also need to keep our egos in check and make sure that we're serving the song most when we go to re-record everything. So you know, I mean, when we were recording with Christian Donaldson, I mean, a lot of stuff that we had as ideas was just scrapped on the spot, and we're just experimenting with different things. So you can't get too emotionally anchored to some ideas that were effectively just like a demo, you know, some months beforehand. So yeah, it's just I don't know, that's the process really. And then once it's out, you can't change anything, so you just kind of have to just be okay with what we've committed to tape.
But dude, I think like when you mentioned like serving the song, like you've nailed that as a band, because I think we said there's just like this melding of just the you know, the technical side of your music and the dissonant side of it, but then you just marry it with these fucking just colossal grooves and like brutality, like just straight up groovy, like brutality. And it's easy, you know, for lesser musicians perhaps to go too far in either direction and it sound you know, a bit of a mess. But you've nailed that. Oh, it's gone.
Oh no.
Hey, we're back again. Yeah, dude, we were just saying about the you guys melding that dissonant death metal, the futuristic, the pushing the boundaries with the fucking just knuckle dragging brutality and like slamming like grooves and stuff. Is that your love of like both styles of different death metal just combining into your sound?
So a bit of a long-winded answer, I guess. In short, just to kind of really put things into perspective, I'd never listened to Gore Guts when we released Divinity Hillity.
Oh wow.
And that was one of the bands that everybody was like, oh, it sounds like Gore Guts, Suffocation, Wormed all kind of put together. So I don't really know where that dissonance comes from. I suspect it probably came from jamming with a guy called Mikey Wheeler in a previous band that wasn't metal many years ago. And it just, I don't know, those note selections and melodies, just yeah, those types of melodies and note selections that I use in Atræ Bilis were very in the pocket with jamming with him. So it's not really a mindful thing. I don't really think about that side of the band. The knuckle dragging heaviness is key. Like if something doesn't make us laugh out loud with how stupidly heavy it is, I fucking don't want to know about it. It's always like, and I genuinely think, and we all kind of feel this way. I think so many bands are trying to impress people, and so many bands are just like, I mean, production now, like particularly with certain, subgenres of metal, I guess, they're just so over the top or so necro that it's just like where is the heaviness? Like if it doesn't feel like your head is in a fucking vice, like what, like why do it?
Yeah.
So we feel very strongly about that. If it's not heavy as shit, like we don't want to know about it. So hopefully that is how it feels and that's how it sounds. And we kind of want it to be, we're aiming anyways. I don't know if we're getting it, but we want it to be so heavy that you're kind of on the borderline of like, it's too much, but it's not. Yeah, okay, I can endure another song, and then there's a payoff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very important to us. And we have written songs that are super technical and super cool and super fun and super catchy, but they're just not heavy. Okay, well, back to the drawing board, or just scrap it, try again. So, and then there's other songs that are just like really heavy, but they're just not very interesting. So yeah, I don't know. I guess it just kind of comes back to our recipe of, just trying to blend things that are interesting to us and heavy as well. But yeah, appreciate the words on that. Yeah, I think the balance will be interesting, because I think like as the band goes on, there's definitely going to be more experimental aspects leaking in. I feel not for the sake of it, but just because it's interesting to kind of take doors into new worlds. It's kind of exciting to see where you can take certain things.
The title track does that, doesn't it? On here, it's almost like it's a real simple, I don't know, almost like doomy dirge kind of a sound, but it's still unmistakably you guys.
So it was a funny one how we wrote that. So we were listening to the record and it was like, we need something to just break this up. And we also, again, having the foresight of how vinyl collectors listening to vinyl, there's a side A and there's a side B. So we had an introduction that was instrumental for side A. We also wanted there to be an instrumental, possibly an instrumental anyways, but another introduction to side B, and just really dichotomize the two sides of the concept and the records. And we didn't have that. And when we were recording drums, Christian was having some car troubles, and he had to leave the studio to go collect his car. And we just asked him, like, can you just kind of leave all the tracks and we're just going to try write something. And so while he was out getting his car fixed up, Luca was in the fish tank, behind his drum kit and everything mic'd up, and I was in the control room, and it was just the two of us. We're just like, okay, let's see if this works. And you say doom and you say dirge, and I can definitely hear that. But to us, it was almost like a very simplistic, like post-rock song structure.
Yeah.
And that's especially with the bass line and stuff that we envisaged going over it, which Miles put down. And Luca and I listened to a lot of that stuff together. So yeah, but it's, I guess it's always going to have those vibes. They say sound comes from the fingers, and whether that's, that also extends into the drumsticks and stuff as well. Like, it doesn't really matter what we play. Like, when we're playing together, it's always going to sound like us, I think, which is a really positive thing. But I thought I'd just give you a little insight into how that song was put together, because we tried to relax a little more with that song for that reason.
Oh, I love all that stuff, man. We've said it before. We're like nerds for that the in studio documentaries
Yeah,
and stuff
mate.
like that. Like as like three dudes who, you know, we don't make albums. It's fascinating how it all comes together. It blows my mind, to be honest with you. Like just how some dudes could pick up some instruments and then you've got this album that you're going to be listening to in 20 years time, and it gives you different emotions, and it gives you, do you know what I mean? And like that's just come from some guys picking up instruments. So it's,
yeah, I mean, I'm so grateful for albums having that power. Like not just as a listener, but yeah, I do think about how grateful it is that if I was to just like drop dead tomorrow, there'd always be a piece around for anybody to tap into. And it's it's a different kind of magic, you know.
oh,
For sure.
absolutely.
But I don't think it should stop anybody. I mean, the beautiful thing about music is anybody can make a record. Like that's the beautiful thing about music. Like, yeah, sure, this is technical death metal. That's one style of music, but like I didn't come out of the gates being able to play this stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I think everybody should always encourage everybody. Like if you're thinking about if you listen to music, like you too can make an album. You know, you just need like a supportive community and the will to want to do it, and you can do it. So,
oh, that's it. The Jimmy Daz and Defra album's coming now. That's it. You've
hell yeah.
So you've touched on it a couple of times, that you like working with Christian Donaldson, obviously with Cryptops in the studio. How did your relationship with him sort of come about in the first place?
So we recorded Apex Apian, the album before Aumicide, here locally, and we had engaged another mixing mastering engineer from overseas to basically just balance everything. And look, they're great. We'd heard the other albums that they were doing, and we thought this is a no-brainer. This is going to sound fucking massive. Like, just so excited to work with them, and it didn't. Like it just didn't. And I guess our expectations were higher.
Okay.
And we've always been very, very vocal about like what our expectations are with everybody that we work with, whether it's a photographer, whether it's somebody doing layout, whether it's a mixing engineer. Like, you know, we're paying for a service. This is transactional. This is what we expect.
Yeah.
Let's clear all this up before we move forward. And things just wasn't working out. So we paid them out for the work that they'd done, but then we're on a time crunch to submit to $20 spin. It's that debut album. We reached out to another couple of engineers, Christian being one of them. Christian was incredibly busy, but said that he could take it on for a premium. We're like, okay, the guy's so good, he can do it. Let's do it. Yeah. So we committed to Christian, and the very first mix that we got back quite literally felt like we were in one of those G-Force machines. I think it's Moonraker you know, in that Moonraker James Bond movie with that scene going around.
Yeah.
Like, this is and it's probably comparatively, because the other mixing engineer, and they're great, they've been putting out some incredible stuff since, but you know, in comparison, it was night and day. So yeah. I think from that first mix that he sent back, it was just, I mean, it was 99.9% there. It was just very small tweaks to the rest of the album. And he was so great. He was so positive. He was so cool that when it came to doing Aumicide, you know, the band had a discussion. You know, there were a few producers that we thought about, you know, all over the place. And we just kind of came back to thinking like, well, if Christian was able to produce the output that he did on Apex Apian without having any control over the recorded material, how much bigger would it sound if we gave him complete control to move the microphones to where he wanted them, to select the microphones that he wanted, to be in the room that he wanted to be in, and, you know, all those things. It could only be so much bigger. Yeah. And so we had a chat with him, and he was super excited we discussed our expectations, and that just made him even more enthusiastic because he's also hungry for the same things. And so we locked him down, you know.
Good job.
That's how we that's how we first got working with him, and that's how we ended up working with him, I guess. But yeah, I could talk about what it was like to work with him, you know, for days, but I'll say it was incredibly positive. I learned so much, and yeah, it was it was pretty humbling to. I mean, I guess, you know, from my perspective as a guitar player, to have, you know, the Cryptopsy guitar player just
yeah.
you know, kind of watch how you're playing things, and you know, have a spectrum of comments from, oh, maybe you should try this here, to, oh, here's a cool warm-up exercise that I have, to, I wish I wrote that riff. It was just like everything was just like,
oh my
God. Yeah. He's really cool. He's got an awesome circle around him over there. Yeah, his family's amazing. We were living with them for the full month. We're out in Montreal.
Oh, cool.
His wife Sarah and his little boy William are, yeah, just very beautiful spirits. And Dom, his assistant, is incredible. He used to play bass in Iron Dissonance and helps out with Cryptopsy on bass as well. Super cool guy. So it was fucking rad. Yeah, really hope that he picks up the call next time we ask him if he wants to work again. So,
oh, dude, absolutely. Like, does he chip in with like song structure ideas and things like that, and or is he leaves that down to you guys? You know your songs, and then just maybe, like you said,
like
mic placement and tones and
yeah,
stuff. And
he I mean, we sent him the demos beforehand. Originally, there was discussion to doing. I mean, the way Christian normally works, and this may have changed since then, but at the time of you know, doing Aumicide, his general approach was quite interesting. It was actually to record guitars first.
Okay, cool.
To a click track and sequence drums, and then recording the acoustic drums over those guitars. And I asked him why that was, and he told me, well, you know, if we want to change any of the song structures, it's a lot easier if we have the recorded guitars, so that we can just like splice and extend sections if we need to, and then just hear how they sound while the drummer's in the studio recording. I thought, oh yeah, that like would make sense. But I guess because our records are so deeply conceptual and so deeply considered, like even extending a riff for another half a bar can totally throw off the equilibrium of our vision, I guess.
Yeah.
So in that sense, he was a little more. I mean, it's not like he was. He never really suggested that we change any song structures, and I'm sure that if he felt that a song would benefit, he would have. So I don't know how to take that. I never really asked him about that, and I should, but there wasn't too much input there. He was really cool with like guitar harmonies.
Yeah.
You know, like making sure that it sounded evil when it sounded to sound evil, or like open when it sounded open. So yeah, we both kind of have a guitar and it's, I'm thinking about this, and be like, oh, you know, yeah, that sounds cool. Why not try play it up here, kind of thing. So that was really neat. And then when Miles was recording bass, he was, by that time we'd done drums and guitar, so he totally understand what the band was about. I was still in Montreal when Miles was recording bass, and when I was basically working half the time in the back studio, just doing my day job stuff, and I just let those two guys just kind of do their thing. And so Christian was like a lot more hands-on with the bass stuff, but whenever it was like, oh, we don't know about this, we'd kind of go in. And Christian actually, it was interesting. It was almost like having two sets of like quality assurance, I guess, for everything as well. And then with vocals, we'd all flown back. I think we spent 1 or 2 days. Sorry, I was there for 1 or 2 days when Jordan flew in. But because all the vocal demos had been done, we were able to bring in the vocal demos into the album sessions and use those as like skeletons.
Yeah.
So Christian knew what had to be done there, but of course Christian just got the best takes out of Jordan and how to do, doubles, like the high-low Glenn Benton kind of style of things. And just, I mean, Jordan sounds like a fucking psycho on this album.
My
So,
God.
dude,
that guy is unfucking real, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
What was really cool, actually, sorry, I haven't thought about these sessions in quite some time because, as you know, we record these years ahead of their release, but Christian actually put some vocals on the record, which is really fun. So there's like a gang vocal section in Monolith of Flame, and the mantras, the Om mantras in the title track was Christian and myself both kind of meditating into the microphone, which is really sick.
Yeah. And I suppose for you, like you're the sole guitar player in that band, which fucking blew my mind when I found out originally. Like, I suppose not having a second guitarist in the studio to bounce ideas off. I suppose having someone as legendary in death metal as him to bounce ideas off must be like really like invaluable for you.
Oh, it was incredible. It's one of those things. It's like I'm primarily self-taught too, so.
Holy shit!
I'm conscious about picking up more bad habits than anything else that might affect my playability and stuff. So he was really good with that, but he really he really fucking impressed me with just how tight performance can be. So I would I guess it sounds like it's interesting, so I'll continue. But the recording process, to make sure that things were as tight as they could possibly be, we were doing these long loop sections. So you'd hear the click track, click, 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 or whatever the tempo is, and the drums and the guitars, and you drop in and you play, a couple of riffs or something, and then it would cycle back, and it's just you do that until you've just got like the tightest possible take that you can do, because we were quad tracking guitars. So there's 2 guitar tracks on the left side of the speakers, and there's 2 guitar tracks on the right side of the speakers. So every guitar track needs to be super tight. Otherwise it just sounds like a mess. But through each of those loop sections, and I told Christian this, it felt like, I'd have my headphones on so that it was just like the most high fidelity audio that I could possibly hear. I didn't want any of the room response. I just wanted to just be like just connected to the session.
Locked.
And I'd be riffing, and I'm like, fuck, this sounds sick. This is like so heavy. And I'm waiting for him to like hit the space bar and go, yeah, you've nailed it. But he just wasn't. And I'm like, okay, fuck it. And so I'm like in my own head, just like almost playing like this virtual game with Christian, like fuck, like he's grading me, like no, fuck, like, what is going on here? Like this is like perfectly tight. And then I'd be like, what, and I'm like in this meditative state of just like riffing, like looping and riffing, and I'm thinking like, what is not tight about this? Like everything's tight, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to make this note even tighter. No, it's not that note. This note even tighter. And it would get to a point where I'd have to dig so deep into the pocket of the click that it literally felt like the only analogy I can think of is in Star Wars: A New Hope. when the Rebel X fighters are like in the trenches, like trying to line up their missile for like the one perfect fucking shot into the Death Star. That's what each note felt like. And I'd be like, I've just hit the Death Star like fucking 57 times. And then I'd hear him click the space bar and I'd be like, God damn, okay. And then I'd be like, all right, another 3 times. So it was crazy how tight my playing felt during those sessions. And even once we got home, I didn't play guitar for I think it was like a couple of weeks or something. And I picked up my guitar, and usually if I don't play for a couple of weeks, it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna puke. This just sounds so horrible, you know. but I picked up my guitar and I just felt like I was just blazing. I was just like, Jesus, Christian, you know. Yeah, he's a monster for sure.
Oh, fuck. Your forearms 20 times bigger than they were before you started recording as well.
Yeah, it's like
fucking
reverse
Popeye.
Oh, mate, if a dude of that stature, you know, tells you keep going, man, you fucking keep going, don't you? Like, so you've touched on, dude, like obviously the concept of your records. Can you just, like, I know you've answered this question before, man, but can you just give us a little backstory on the concept for Aumicide?
Yeah, sure. So I guess it ties in with the cover, really.
Oh, we've got a question about that as well. Yeah.
yeah, very cool. But yeah, the concept is, you know, it's yeah, I guess there's, you know, some artistic liberties here, but you know, the musings basically came from just like a wondering of like, you know, what would the world look like if there was zero faith? Like if faith, God, hope, you know, anything happy, anything, you know, any sense of joy was just like completely removed from the human spirit. Like, what would that do to collective consciousness? You know, I do believe in the law of manifestation, and I was just wondering what the world would look like if there was complete godlessness. So that was kind of like my headspace going into the record. And then I did, you know, a fair bit of reading to, you know, on like the simulation theory and you know, the hermetic principles and things like that to kind of, you know, just pique my interests in, you know, the metaphysical and how you do that. And I kind of figured that if we were going to try and achieve that type of experiment, how would you do it? And I don't know that it's the right way to do it, but I guess the beauty of science is you can try things. And if I was going to try, I'd probably just go directly into the nervous system and just create or manipulate, I guess, the stimulation that the nervous system, the brain perceives, at least in this body that we occupy anyways. And so the front cover depicts a test specimen. It's got a series of wires and conduit that is quite literally just punctured through its skin and its face, which it doesn't need. It's directly into the, you know, also into the brain, so that all 5 of its, dare I say it, humanoid senses are being controlled by an external source, you know, or electricity. Yeah, and the idea being that if you were to stimulate a human being from its waking moments of birth right through until its, you know, death some 70, 80, 90 years later, what would it do? You know, what kind of a perception would there be behind all of that? That was the concept of the record. And that's loosely the, you know, the theme that the lyrics kind of dance in and out of.
That's fascinating, man. Like, and you write the lyrics, and
yeah.
Are you, what sort of, are you inspired by like books and films and things like that for your concepts?
I am. I mean, I would say that I definitely, I feel, you know, I love to read. I love to watch films and stuff. I'd say it feels more like the films and the books that really reverberate with me, I kind of attract, you know. I think that sense of wondering what if has always kind of been in me. I think that's just like the child part of me that just, you know, kind of wonders what if. But then, you know, I'm a sick fuck, so I start wondering about sick fucking shit like this instead.
Oh my Fucking, that's the best answer we've ever had, man.
Yes, mate.
So it's interesting, mate. You started touching on the album because obviously it's the cover, because it's obviously, like you said, intrinsically linked. So I mean, it's been quite divisive from what I've seen. It kind of reminds me. Did you check out the Lion's Daughter album last year
No.
called Bathhouse? Oh, dude.
No.
After the show, just whenever you get a minute, look up the Lion's Daughter. The album's called Bathhouse. That's got a sculpture as the album cover, and it's fucking disgusting. And it was also, that was really divisive, really pushed a lot of buttons. A lot of people didn't check the album out because of the
cover. Okay.
I
did see this, actually. I'm just looking at it now.
Oh, dude, if you check the album out as well,
It's a sick album, mate.
it's so
Sick
good.
album.
But did you want to push some buttons with the album cover?
No. So we were very conscious not to have any genitalia, any blood, any face. Like, we wanted this to be an indescript specimen. We kind of come back to this guiding principle of like heaviness and the feeling of heaviness and stuff. And, you know, we play death metal. Like, these themes are very dark.
Yeah.
But we want it to be really real. And we also want the fidelity of the record to feel very close and real and there, present, right? I think the idea of just having a painting or an illustration is cheapening that. In some, you know, no disrespect to painters and illustrators, but that's not how we want to present our reality. We don't want this to be a fiction. Like, we want this to feel like a very real place that you can access whenever you want to. And Apex Sapien too, we originally wanted to be a picture of a sculpture, but the quotes that we had received for a three-eyed skull were so astronomical that it was cheaper to get one of the most expensive fucking painters in the game to do it.
Wow.
So it was very fortunate that we discovered Grey House Studios, because they were very excited about the project, and they accommodated. Absolutely fantastic. But if it were up to us, there would have been sculptures that were photographed for all of our albums. And you know, I guess discussions in the rehearsal room about that was, imagine seeing one of I'm just using Cannibal Corpse here as an example, because they're like the low-hanging fruit when it comes to offensive death metal violence covers. Yeah. But imagine if Butchered at Birth was a staged photo that looked as realistic. You know, like, would it make the album heavier? Yeah. Would it be distasteful? Yeah, probably. So, you know, we weren't trying to be distasteful. It's just like, this is what the album's about. What's interesting is I don't know if the algorithm knows what to do with it, because there's no face, right? It's like, it doesn't know if it wants to push it. It also, it's like, it's not quite violent, so we can't make it explicit. But yeah, there's just this sense that like the internet doesn't actually know what to do with the image. I think
that's why it's elicited such a reaction. It's because it's, like you said, people have become desensitized now to death metal covers with gory shit on them, and you know, it's just, you see it and it's just another death metal cover, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is fucking stark. It's real. It's
disturbing.
It's disturbing, you know. And I think that's what has. Some people are like, oh, it's not for me. I don't like it. And it is a very like, I don't like that. Do you know what I mean? Almost like a shit, I can't cope with this image. I need to get rid of it out of my face, like right now.
A bit like that.
And I think that's it's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like everybody's got a different mind to mine, but I'm hoping that it's a scary record. Because when I first listened to the demos, it fucking scared the shit out of me. And I had not been scared by an album since I first heard Deicide's Legion or Dark Thrones, Transylvanian Hunger. They were the first two records really that like made me feel like I'm fucking shitting myself. Like, and I don't know why. It's just they're just songs. Like, it makes no sense. This is the dumbest. Yeah. This is the dumbest feeling in the world, but I really like it. And I've never had that feeling until I heard the demo versions of Aumicide. So to me, it just makes sense that that the album cover also evokes this sense of unease, because that's the vibe of this record. That's not to say that every record is going to be the same, but you know, Aumicide, you know, I mean, Aum is, you know, it's the sound of the universe. It's it's the death of entity. It's the death of everything beyond that. It's not supposed to be pretty. I mean, imagine if it was pretty flowers with the concept that we have. Like, it's just, you'd be cheapening it. So
agreed. No, that's really cool, man. Yeah, it's like I said, I think it's some people haven't known how to react, and that's a fucking cool thing to have as a band. Like, you know, you don't want it to just be another album that slips by. Oh yeah, that's cool. That Atræ Bilis album was cool, and then a week later they're not talking about it. People are still talking about it now, and the cover, and you know, it's still a point of discussion, which is really fucking cool, I think. I
appreciate that. I guess, you know, just to bookend that too before we head on, I guess as listeners of death metal too, like, we want fresh stuff, and just seeing painted artworks by everybody from the same 5 artists is like, how much consideration, how much thought goes into the presentation of your record? Like, sure, it's going to look vibrant, sure, it's, you know, but you can see trends. Like, there will be a hyped record that's got, you know, I'm trying not to drop names here, but, you know, of very prolific artists, and they're great, or new up and coming artists. And then for the next 6 months, it seems like there's one release every month that features the same artworks art. And it's like, you're not really thinking, you're just reaching out to another artist because you like their work for another band that isn't your band. Like, it's not very unique. Like, why doesn't somebody in your band produce something? Or why don't you try a different medium? Or, you know, or are you just trying to be another thing that everything else is around us? And we're conscious that we don't, that's not the band we want to be. We have no interest in investing this much time and energy doing this stuff just to be another number amongst what's easy and palatable and safe.
Yeah, absolutely agree, mate. And that's why I sort of referenced the Lion's Daughter album, because that made people so uncomfortable when it came out that they didn't want to listen to the album because of it. And I was like, that is fucking cool. That's better.
I think it looks cool. It looks like a cool creature from a horror movie.
Yeah, exactly that. I just wanted to very quickly, dude, touch back on your guitar playing, and just before we go on, when you're writing, do you have to, as the one guitar player, do you have to have the live show in mind when you're writing? So how the fuck am I going to pull this off? Am I going to be able to play this live? Is it going to translate? Do you have to think about those things? Or
no, because we write everything freely. I mean, like, a lot of the riffs that just pop out is just me pulling my guitar toe and just setting up my equipment, and it's like, oh, that sounds cool. So no, like, I don't write anything above my ability, well, to the extreme. Like, I'll hear something at a certain tempo if it feels right at that tempo, but it just takes a bit more practice to really lock it in. That's one thing. But the fact that we are playing these songs in a rehearsal environment before we hit the studio, I have full confidence that it's with the adrenaline and with, you know, a room full of people, it's just, it'll be effortless. And from what I understand from most people that see us live, their initial response is just like, either fuck, it sounds just like the album, or that was incredibly heavy, or some variation of that. So yeah, I don't know. I think we certainly feel like we have off nights occasionally, but like we just know the music so intimately that it's like if one drum fill missed like one tom hit there or something like that, to us it might be, oh no, but nobody fucking like that's the level of detail that we're listening to stuff in. So no, it's very chill. There's no stress there about the live stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the easy bit.
Yeah, cool. And sorry, I've been, because you've been reading my mind with these questions, man. So I had them all set out, but you've been touching on things. I'm like, right, well, I'll go there next. But I just wanted to go back to Jordan's vocals then very quickly. The little smatterings of the clean vocals on here. Oh my god, they're so sick, and they catch you, and you're like, fuck, where did that come from? Like, are you going to be pushing those a little bit more in future, do you think?
I think it's just what serves the song. I mean, it's hard to really know. I mean, usually melodies and vocal patterns and stuff will, come to us during the vocal demoing process. Salted in Stygia definitely did the first time during the demoing process. And I think, well, it was interesting because back then, Jordan, he wasn't apprehensive, but he didn't have the confidence that he has now after recording it and taking it out live and stuff. He's actually said that, songs like Inward to Abraxas are like his favorite songs to play live. So I think with Jordan's, Jordan's always been a confident guy, but he's just becoming a powerhouse at this stage, which is really exciting to watch and be a part of. So I just, I'm just going to be really facilitating, whatever confidence and ideas he might have with trying other vocal styles and vocal effects and stuff. But, we're a death metal band at the core. We're not here to sell out. We're not here to whatever. The clean sections in Aumicide sounded right in our head, and they were executed. Will they happen again? I guess it'll just depend. But yeah, we've never been a band that will put a ceiling over our head, and I'm sure there's other instrumentational ideas that you haven't heard yet that you'll hear on the next album. You would have thought, fuck, where did that come from? And it's just part of us just having fun with it,
Yeah, that's so cool, man. It's so good to know as listeners and fans that we don't know what the fuck's coming next. Like, that's the beauty of it,
Well, fuck, I can tell you right now, like, just you wait, because
oh my god,
mate, it's like pre-orders in straight away.
Yeah, we're a couple of songs into some new stuff, and it's it's just fucking heavy. Yeah, it's crazy sick. So very excited to.
Well,
keep going with that.
That's a repeat. We're definitely going to have you back on when that drops, then, man. We can pick your brain about that. So, dude, to wrap this up, we've got a very special. We used to finish these shows with like either or rounds, where we give you two things to choose from. We haven't done one for a little while, so we thought we'd bring it back in this. We've got an Australian special, either or. So I'm going to kick this off then. Foster's or Castlemaine 4X?
Oh, fucking! It's got to be 4X. I mean, not that there's a reign supremacy there, but Foster's is fucking headache ale, and nobody inside of Australia drinks that fucking bullshit. So yeah, it's got to be the 4X.
Oh, I used to love a 4X, and they've just nowhere served.
Can't get it. No, you can't get it.
God,
no.
Yes,
I kind of love the cheesy packaging, with the yellow tin and the big red fucking X's on there. Yeah.
Sure. Kangaroos or koalas?
I'm gonna go with kangaroos because koalas are syphilitic. Yeah,
oh, wow.
If that's a word. I'm just thinking of Brian's band Syphilitic, but they have syphilis.
Oh shit!
And they Yeah, they're dirty fuckers, man. Yeah, you don't wanna,
And kangaroos can box.
Yeah, they'll box your ears up.
they
mate.
can, but you can box them back, right?
Yeah.
Like in self-defense.
It's true. Yeah.
I'd never say go out and punch a kanga, but if he throws first, like
Yeah,
Yeah,
got to
it's on,
protect
mate.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I am a vegetarian, so it's fucking if he's coming at you, you can hit him back. So yeah, I'm gonna go the kanga. He likes to brawl. He hasn't got syphilis. Is it syphilis or is it gonorrhea? It's chlamydia. There we go.
Wow.
There we go.
Fucking, they really are filthy bastards.
Oh, mate. Yeah. Before anybody fact checks me and says, no, I caught chlamydia from my koala. It wasn't syphilis. There we go.
Well, whatever the fuck you were doing with that koala, mate. I don't want to know.
So from them filthy bastards to these filthy bastards, Alf Stewart or Harold Bishop?
Oh, mate, it's gotta be Alf Stewart. Yeah, his one-liners are fucking absolutely classic. Yeah,
So good. I mean, we're talking about songwriting all night. They're two of the best theme tunes ever, aren't they? Like, just iconic bangers. Pair of them.
I mean, I guess they're probably pretty popular where you guys are at too, from my understanding. Like
Yeah.
Like, do you know anybody that regularly watches Neighbours or Home and Away?
I used to love Home and Away when I was younger.
Yeah, when we were younger, sort of early 90s.
Yeah,
it used to be a staple. Massive staple.
Massive.
I think, what was that? Was it Angel in Home and Away? She was one of my first awakenings, mate. She was like, let me tell you.
Well, they used to film Neighbours, like it was quite literally like a 5-minute walk from a lot of rentals and stuff I used to have when I was living in Melbourne. And you'd see all these like tour shuttle buses, going down to go see Ramsay Street and all that jazz. I never actually saw it because I was like, fuck, it's literally just a street, in like the same area. But
it don't have that magic, does it?
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny how the Brits and the Australians are just so aligned with their humor and TV shows. And
it is.
It's crazy.
Mad Max or Crocodile Dundee?
Oh, it's got to be Mad Max for sure. I mean, Crocodile Dundee. I remember I played a show at one of Paul Hogan's pubs. One time.
Was Donk there?
Donk.
Just fucking
never met the guy. I don't know. Is he still alive? Did he die? Like, what's the status of his leathery?
You know what?
Skin
I don't know.
Sure, look.
He's got to look like a fingerprint at this point. Like he's.
Fucking fingerprint.
I think he's still alive according to Google. He's 84.
He's got a picture. Can you share a picture of what he looks like?
I don't know. I just see whether there's any. I'm just getting like criminal fingerprints are coming up. Thumbprints.
Yeah, I'd go with Mad Max, just because Road Warrior is one of the hardest movies ever made. I actually went to the Mad Max 2 museum in Silverton, and
sick.
Yeah, it's a bit of a drive into out there. There's a population of like 17 people or something, but yeah, it was a cool little impulse, to go out there and check that out.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah. Next one, cricket or Aussie rules?
Look, I'm not much of a sports guy, much to testosterone at large, but I would say that since leaving home, I do miss some footy on the telly on occasion. Yeah. Just the whole culture, just, kind of getting together for barbecues and all that jazz that kind of comes with it. So and I like the pace. I guess cricket is one of the slowest sports, and AFL is one of the fastest sports.
Yeah.
So, and it's definitely a lot more brutal. So I'd have to go for, speed
that used
and
to
death
be,
and.
We used to have it on Channel 4, do you remember, on like Saturday or Sunday mornings, Aussie Rules Footy. I used to love watching
Never,
it. I used to
never
kick the
understood it.
shit out of me,
Yeah,
so I didn't
never
know.
understood what was going on.
It's pretty simple. I'll explain it right now. And like AFL supporters hate me saying this, but there's basically 4 sticks on either end of an oval, and then there's an odd-shaped ball that isn't quite round, and then there's dudes in short shorts,
Yeah, short.
the shortest shorts, but they may as well not be wearing any shorts. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And they're running around kicking a ball between 4 sticks on one end, and the 2 center sticks are worth 6 points for some reason, and the 2 sticks either side is 1 point for another reason. And that's AFL.
There were some fucking sick mullets in that league as well.
Yes.
Like the best mullets you've ever seen in that.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, some of the tackling can get pretty brutal. I mean, I know it's like it's a little softer now than what it was when I was growing up as a kid, but yeah, it can get pretty feisty. So.
Right. Final question. Savage Garden or In Excess?
Oh, look, I've got to go In Excess. And I'm going with this one for what I think is right. Some autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yeah. What a way to go.
It sounds a little sexy at the end of the Savage Garden songs
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way you gave it his technical term and not strangle wank, which sounds less classy, doesn't it? Oh, dude. But cheers for your time again this evening, man. It's been an absolute blast chatting, man. Honestly, it's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for pushing through the technical mishap earlier on. And
no worries, man.
yeah, just appreciate all your support and saying on our case about a chat and everything. You know, you guys have been a positive force since what feels like day dot, and you know, your podcast is it's just super positive. You know, you've never got anything negative to say about anybody, and you're always laughing, and it's a nice thing to listen to and be a part of. So I appreciate it immensely.
Thanks, bro. And
Thanks, mate.
hopefully one day we'll get a chance to hang in London or somewhere.
Yeah.
If you guys ever
Yeah,
get
mate.
to
Some
make it over here,
4Xs.
safe.
We'll find a place for plus 4Xs, mate. We'll get him in.
We'll shoot the shit about Harold Bishop in real life. Yeah, it'd be wicked.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah, I'm not sure what the visa situation is there now since, you know, post Brexit and stuff.
Yeah.
That's the main complication for other bands. You know, it used to be that you'd just be able to book some shows, fly in, there you go. But yeah, there's some expensive logistics, you know, coming out of all that stuff, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah,
fingers crossed, man. Yeah, dude, thanks again for your time. And thanks for everyone for listening to Bangers and Mosh, the podcast for heavy music. Until next time, rack off, you mongrels.